Abigail here, and today I am with Chris Cleveland from Stars Go Dim. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. You're getting the full quarantine version of me right now.
The
Like
full quarantine version. What does that
unshaved. This is a new thing. It- I've just been sitting at the pool a while. Pretty much
mean?
all we've done. So this is all good. I'm excited.
Yes. So, Rock the Lake is officially happening, and you are coming.
I just want to let that sink in for a second.
I know,
Because
just let it all sink in.
that's good news. I mean, the
Yeah.
world is crazy right now. So yes, Rock the Lake is happening. We're gonna be there. Right now, it's the last show that I have all year long.
Wow.
So I think we're gonna come and be really excited to play.
Yeah. So, what are you looking forward to the most about Rock the Lake?
Seeing people and hearing their voices, I think,
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
right? I think just being able to come together and worship and sing together and do that and be able to do it safely and all that. But just to hear people sing, I think it's going to be an awesome moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't wait to hear the passion in people's voices. It's
Right
gonna be
on.
great. Yeah. So we can't do the meet and greets this year, sadly. So we're gonna do just a little Q&A right here.
Let's do it.
So some questions are gonna be serious, some might be a little funny.
Okay.
So all right, let's start with are your top 5 favorite movies?
Oh man. Okay, top 5. Um, I like okay, now this dates me a little bit, so I'm gonna have to think of it in, like, genres because I used to like rom-coms. Like, I think my favorite movie couple of my favorite movies, Serendipity with, John Cusack and was that, who was the girl in that? I can't remember. I don't think it was anyways, Serendipity is awesome. Um, when I was like, I don't know, 12, I got so obsessed with A Walk to Remember that my mom took the DVD away. I just loved Mandy Moore, and when they came out with This Is Us, I just fell in love with her again, so my wife was
Yes.
even a little jealous. She's like, "Oh, I get it now," because my wife is, like, tall and brunette. I was like, "It's Mandy Moore's fault." Um, I'm also like Will Ferrell is the exact kind of comedy that I think is the most funny. So, like, Anchorman, basically, he we I just watched this one of him, what was it called? It just came out, Eurovision, and he's a musician, and he's trying to make it on the big, Eurovision, song contest in Europe. It just came out on Netflix. So funny. So, basically, like, his whole discography, there's really no movies that I don't like that he's done. But before like internet and stuff became famous and memes became a thing, like we would just run around saying Anchorman quotes. So let me give you what would one more be? Oh, it's so good. Okay, I have two more actually.
Okay.
So Kingdom of Heaven, which is like Orlando Bloom, and it's like kind of holy war-ish, and they're
Okay.
but it was one of the first movies I saw where like the fighting wasn't like this action thing where the music is all crazy. The music's like really sad and it like portrays it like, gosh, why are we doing this kind of thing? I love that. My favorite movie comes down to this one. And
Okay.
now it's another love story. And when you saw the previews, you probably thought that's an okay movie, like whatever. A movie called About Time. And if
Okay.
you're a dad or a son, it's like kind of a dad-son movie, but the whole thing, there's a love story in it. Oh, the first time I watched it, I cried for 15 minutes after it was up. I'm
All
serious.
right. All
So good.
right.
Okay, there
Good
you go.
choices.
Go check them out.
Awesome. Okay, easy one next. What's your favorite color?
Blue. My youngest son's favorite color is green.
Cool.
My
All
daughter's
right.
favorite color is sparkle.
Sparkle. Perfect.
Mhm.
um, let's see. What are you currently working on in this time of like a pandemic and quarantine? Are you working on any music, anything like that?
Just started working on a new record. So the third record we'll put out with Word. So I'm really excited about that. We're
Awesome.
just getting started. So I've gotten a few songs back and probably gonna take a little more time on this than I have on some others and be a little bit more picky about what we put on it, but I'm really excited about getting going on that.
That's awesome. So what does a day in the life of Chris Cleveland look like right now?
Right now, well, we just went out to Oklahoma for 3 weeks to be with my family, and we played some local shows there, like around communities that I grew up in, which was really cool. But we just got back today, so we have not been home for almost a month, which is just crazy. So we also brought a new puppy home.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
I told
kind?
my daughter it's a lab border collie mix, which is the same as our older dog who's 9. And she's so awesome. We're like, well, let's try to find the same thing. So, so last night was spent with puppies, not sleeping. And I've already got 3 kids. I don't need to not sleep. So, but honestly, the pandemic and all of like quarantine and stuff, we spent so much time at home. So we did like a whole month of walking, all the time. We did a month of like redoing the backyard. We've done like the pool every day, so we're trying to find things to keep us outside and active and not going too crazy. And now it's balancing getting some new music and that kind of stuff going too.
Yeah, all right. So last time we had you, it was at the Hardin County Fairgrounds, and there was a whole issue where your bus had
Yeah.
gotten like had stopped, and so you
Yeah.
had to fly out.
The bus broke down. That was, gosh, maybe 2017.
2017, I think. Yeah.
Bus broke down, so I got a rental car.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I drove to Ohio, and I played by myself. And then I had a couple shows in Canada, and I had to drive from that show um, up to Canada by myself. And
That is
I'm with
crazy.
JJ Weeks that day too. And we just actually he was on tour with me um, this past week, but I met him at that show at the Hardin County Fairgrounds. And
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, when we were talking about this show and how crazy this year's been, it's like, are we gonna get a normal time to play ever? But no, we're pretty excited about this one. I think
Yeah, so for this one, you're bringing your band.
I'm gonna have some boys with me. We're gonna play some songs.
Awesome.
Good.
What song are you looking forward to the most?
Hmm. Let's see. It depends on the day because sometimes I switch it up. Especially like we probably have enough music to do a couple hours, at this point. So sometimes, depending on how I feel, I'll just tell the band to bail out, and then I'll just take it for a tangent, for a while. It's kind of fun. One of my favorite songs to play right now is a song called Autobiography, and it's a song I wrote with Matthew West, and it's the last song off our new records. We actually like rushed it to get it on to the record that came out last year because we had just written it, and I just love it. And I think during the pandemic, it's kind of it is really kind of hit home because it's a song about putting what happens when you put your faith and trust in God and the joy and the freedom and the happiness that come after that when we can trust in Him. And so that one's been a really fun one for me to play.
Yeah. Yeah. So because you're not able to see your fans face to face, because we're not doing the meet and greet,
Yeah.
what piece of advice would you like to give to people?
Well, I think it's kind of bouncing off of that song, and this is why it's been a good one for me. Every time I play, I talk about identity. I talk about value and worth. Where your identity comes from. You're created in the image of God, and how much He loves you just as you are. And I'll do that at the show. But I kind of tell some of my story too, which is about like learning how to lean into faith. And 2020 has been a year where we've all had to learn how to lean into faith in some way. Um, so I just encourage you guys to understand that like when we can say, God, I'm all in, or it's all you, or it's nothing. And kind of in a time right now that we're in, as musicians, it's like, God, like if you don't provide, we're not provided for. We're playing this show and really not any others this year. And that's where all of our income comes from. So we have to say, God, you're going to provide for my family, or we won't be. And that kind of faith, it sounds almost counterintuitive, but when we can lean into God in those type of ways, it kind of takes the stress off of you. You feel this weight kind of come off your back. And I honestly believe that's the tension that God wants us to be in with him, and say, no, like fully trust me, and I'll provide for you, and see what I have for you on this other side. Jesus was speaking in the New Testament. He says, I've come so that you might have joy, that you might share in my joy, you might have it abundantly. And I think for us to be able to share in that joy, we have to lean into that faith. And I really think, and for me in my journey, that's how it's played out. And so I think that's where God wants us. And I encourage you guys, because I know it's difficult, and I know this year's been crazy for all of us, and we don't know what's up and down, what's right or wrong. Science takes time, and we're an impatient people, and we want results and to do and to go and to be, and it's just not that thing. So the one thing that we have to rely on is the person who's on the throne and the person who's over it all, and trust that God has us. And if we can do that and be kind and courteous to other people while we're doing it, I think we can find there's a lot of freedom and joy and happiness in that.
Very good advice. That's awesome. All right, one more random question. What's your favorite animal?
Cheetah came to mind.
Cheetah. Ooh, that's
The
cool.
fastest.
Yeah. All right. Okay, and then last question, we always ask this. How
Okay.
can all of us be praying for you and your band, especially now during this time of the pandemic?
I think just to kind of continue in that posture, I think to really lean into faith. It's hard. I mean, it's hard for us to do that. God would provide. Um, you know, I think this is a difficult time, and luckily, we're all kind of hit in different ways. Um, Thankfully, me and a lot of my guys have been okay. A lot of my band guys have had to pick up other jobs. So, my normal drummer can't come to this show because he had to pick up a job working for a church. So I've got a guy coming in just for the show. And like these kind of random one-offs, a lot of us are having to piece together people because they've had to do other things because, we've lost 100% of our income. So I think as for the industry as a whole, and this is even less for artists, we're insulated a little bit more. Um, but our crews, the people that work for us, our employees, and at some point I have 10, 11, 12 people that work for me all the time, and that's gone down to like two. And that's even really sporadic. So if I can bring work in, and that's the case for all of us. So we're all bare bone crew, only if being able to afford to pay people when things come in. And so I think that's a big thing. There's a lot of families out there who are trying to figure out what this new thing is and when we're going to be able to come back and get back to work. So be thinking about everybody's crew and band and those type of things. But I believe that God will provide. And for me, it's been an opportunity to shift perspectives and not focus on things that we've lost,
Mm-hmm.
but focus on time and opportunity that we've been given. I've got 3 little kids. And so being able to spend a lot of time at home has been really great. So I think too, like praying for our families, that we just take advantage of these times and God blesses these moments with us together. We've been given a gift of time that you can't really put a dollar amount on, So I've been really thankful for that.
Yeah. Okay, well, we will all be sure to be praying for you and your crew. And we are so excited to have you come in for Rock the Lake. It's going to be a really great time.
Right on. I'm excited. It's gonna be gross. What did I say? I don't know. I've got like quarantine brain. I like forget all kinds of things. It's gonna be great, is what I meant. I almost said it's gonna be gracious. I don't know.
Okay.
But we are.
But it's going to be great. Yeah, we're so excited. And all right, we will see you there. For those watching, you can go to rockthelake.ohio.com to get your $10 tickets. And we hope to see you there.
We'll see you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.